we go. In the earrings are going.
Recording.
Yeah.
Marrron on stage.
Everyone give a huge round of applause for Marrron! Give it up!
Yeah.
Good evening. Hi everyone, how are you doing? Pretty good. The Brunswick, amazing acts so far. It's been a wonderful evening. And this is the sound I make when I experience something quite pleasurable in my world. And I think what we need in the world is a bit more togetherness as well. So this is something I'm going to try and spread. We can make this go viral. I think if everybody could learn this whenever they experience something nice, then we can spread a bit of positivity. So could I get you to imagine something that you find really, really pleasurable? It could be a person, it could be a type of food, it might be a type of music. If I could get everybody on the count of 3 to make the sound 1, 2, 3. That's nice. So my name is Marrron, everybody, and I'm back for my pretty much weekly therapy here at the Brunswick. I started doing this open mic thing in about March and wanted to do one a week for a year. I didn't know why at the time. So overcoming a fear of being visible and standing up in front of a room full of people, room full of strangers. And I can kind of see you now, a little bit, so that's nice. Would you like to see a little bit more of me?
Yeah, baby.
Okay. How about that? We'll keep it at that.
Oh, mama.
For the moment.
Oh, baby.
We'll see how we get on. Because it's actually very revealing just standing in front of a group of people you don't necessarily know. And I don't know what I'm going to talk about until I get up here. Oh, Nick, could you give us a minute? Thank you very much. So I started off, and this is for anyone that stands on this stage here, it's not an easy thing to do, but I found it very therapeutic. So I realised quite early on, this is actually a form of therapy for me, just sort of standing up and learning to care less and less what other people think of me. I hope you like me. I hope you find something interesting, amusing, or relevant this evening, but there's no guarantees of that. And this isn't a comedy night, so if you're wanting to be entertained or amused, then
Make the world great again.
make the world great again, exactly. Let's do it. So, what I started doing, I started talking about things that everybody can relate to. Let's bring people together here, because wherever people are in the world, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's about 20,000 people in the crowd at the moment. It's about things that we can all relate to, such as masturbation and pot noodles. So who can actually say they don't enjoy, not necessarily at the same time, but those two activities?
Of course.
It's pretty good, you know? It's a nice thing. There's enough bad things going on in the world, so I thought what we could do this evening is try and work out the meaning of life. It's a bit of a jump from pot noodles and masturbation to the meaning of life, but let's give it a go. How do we feel though, when we're walking through life and somebody does something we don't like? It could be somebody in the supermarket, it could be a co-worker, I don't want to say co-worker, if you're from the West Country, or anything. How does that feel? Do we ever feel we want to get revenge on that person? There's this part of us which wants to seek them out. And it doesn't take a lot for me, really. Just if someone cuts me up in the supermarket queue, there's part of me wants to kill them. Is that normal? That's normal. I'm not the only one in here who experienced this kind of like borderline homicidal rage that I have to kind of bottle up a little bit, because you can't go around doing stuff like that. There are enough bad things going on in the world without creating scenes at Lidl, or, if you prefer, Waitrose. Might be a Waitrose crowd tonight. So anyway, what am I talking about this for? Because you just need to switch on the TV and see what's happening in the world, and all sorts of bad shit going down. And quite often, people like to, what would say is project. If someone feels angry, it's difficult to kind of just observe that stuff in the body and just kind of allow it to be there, or to expel it healthily, like driving along and shout and express this in a healthy way. If you see someone in the street getting a bit full of a rage, it's an awkward thing. So I'd like to, classic situation, you can look at what's happening in the Middle East, and then people walking down the street see somebody, see a Jewish person. Jewish people are starting to get a hard time. They've got nothing to do with that person individually has got nothing to do with what's happening in the Middle East. And then I remember, do you remember Steve Irwin? You'll remember Steve Irwin, Nick?
Yeah, I do.
So there's this Australian guy that used to be deal with wildlife, right? And was doing really nice things with wildlife, and he got killed though by a stingray. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Very sad thing. He loved animals and did amazing things, and the strange things happened in Australia as a result of that. I'm not saying there's anything to do with Australians, but basically it was that people started going out attacking stingrays as a form of revenge to what happened to Steve Irwin. So, I don't know, it's a bit weird, isn't it? So, we probably know how it feels when we're feeling a negative emotion towards somebody, and even if we don't say anything to that person, or do anything to that person, there is a sense of not feeling good. It doesn't feel nice, does it, to have anger, to hold resentment. They say that hanging on to resentment is like drinking poison and expect the other person to die. So, comparing that to how it feels when we think about somebody that we like, or sending some love, sending some good vibes out there, and again, we're the first recipient of our thought processes around that. So, are you up for a little experiment tonight? Yeah? Should we do that? The invitation then is to get you all to close your eyes in the dark. What are we going to do? I'm going to keep my underpants on. I'm not going to come. I'm just going to stay here because I've got
very nervous.
a court order that I'm not allowed past this particular point. So you're all safe. So just get you to close your eyes for a second, beautiful people of the Brunswick. Just imagine somebody, it could be a human being, it could be a pet, for whom you've got a lot of love. Just need to think of that person or creature and tap into that feeling. And feel a sense of love and gratitude. And keeping hold of that feeling, just start to extend that out from your heart, allowing it to expand into the room. And out into the whole pub, and then into the whole of Brighton and Hove. Expanding further and further to the whole country. That feeling of love, extending it to everyone and everything. And now allowing it to expand to the whole planet. Knowing there's a lot of suffering people in the world. Feeling that love.
Marrron, this is your 1 minute warning.
Thank you. And just putting your hands over your heart now. Seeing how that feels. And this is something we can tap into. Allowing your eyes to open again. Something we can tap into at any time. When we find situations that we don't like, the person in the supermarket queue, whenever James Corden's face appears on the TV, or there is any sort of injustice, we can make that choice, we can have those thoughts, we can have those feelings, we can spread a bit of love. And now to finish for the evening, I'm going to bring the energy up a little bit, because we all learned certain things about ourselves growing up, and quite often these are negative things, and because of events and situations that happen in our life, we can go around with these thoughts and these feelings that we're not good enough. We're not young enough, we're not old enough, we're not slim enough, we're not tall enough, we're not beautiful enough, we're not handsome enough. And this will affect our life's chances, but we can start to change the course of that. So what I'd like you all to do, if we can challenge that little voice inside, that little arsehole that tells us these things that we often don't start to question. So I'm going to say, my name is, we all say it together in the count of 3. My name is, and you say your name, and if you don't like it, fuck you. Sound good?
Yeah.
So we've gone from love to fuck you pretty quickly, which is good, isn't it? So, ready? 1, 2, 3. My name is
Joe.
And if you don't like it,
Fuck
you. One more time, louder, louder. 3, 2, 1. My name is
Joe.
And if you don't like it, fuck you. Thank you, I love you.
Everybody, please give up for Marrron! Woo! Thank you, Marrron. I feel loved and lifted. Oh, and a tent. I love a tent. Next up to stage is going to be Paul. Paul to the